I'm Vincent, and I'm the CEO of Monaize. I just want to thank you guys for being here this evening, and also want to thank the Komodo team, where we met in Copenhagen, and it was a sweet, long road since.
So my name is Robert, and I am, of course, the person who's heading up the UK market at Monaize. I'm also the person that is dealing with anything to do with blockchain innovation. Talking about the freelance economy or the gig economy, and also small businesses. And what we're finding is that the world of work is changing. Okay, so 10 years ago, a solid business or career plan for a young person would be to go to university, spend 3 or 4 years at university, then go on to work for, perhaps a large corporation, stay there for 20, 25 years, and then maybe work for another company, but ultimately not move around too much and then retire. And what we've seen since the financial crisis is a change. So it's a change in which people are moving around a lot more, they're more agile, and they're doing a lot of different stuff within their career. And within that context, what we're finding is that more and more people are creating their own businesses and becoming freelancers. So McKinsey and company have suggested that by 2022, 60% of the world's workforce will be freelancers. Now, the problem we've got is that the banking industry has underserved this demographic, so small businesses and freelancers, quite poorly traditionally. The banks are very good at focusing on people like me and you, so consumers, because our needs are actually quite similar. The other client that the banks will traditionally focus on is big business. If I'm a bank manager at Barclays, and I've got, let's say, IBM as a client, then you can be pretty damn sure that I'm going to make sure that that IBM is a very happy client, right? Now, the problem with small businesses and freelancers is that you've got all different kinds of activities, all different kinds of industries within that particular demographic. And what we'll find is that the banks will often turn away small businesses and freelancers just because they can't deal with all these different needs. Branchless banking. Now, we no longer need to go into a branch to do our banking, right? Everything we need to do can be done online. Another thing is personalization. We need to get the right products to the right small businesses, no matter who they are, in a very simple way. And ultimately, what we're trying to do is to make something that would traditionally be quite complicated, very simple. And I'll show you a first example here. So I'll show you the onboarding process. So once again, this is what we're going to show you here through this demo is the ability to create an account in less than 5 minutes. It's sped up here a little bit. So we go into the application. This has been downloaded on either iOS or Android. Now, the 3 pieces of information you'll need to open an account are your company information, 1, a form of ID, and proof of address. You'll come in here, you'll enter your email address, a password, which you'll verify, and then you'll start entering information about yourself as a business owner, as a director. First name, second name, phone number, date of birth, company registration number, and then, of course, company name. And then what's going to happen next is we're going to, within the application, take photos of those documents that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so we'll take photos of the driving license. I'll just wait for that to come along. So this is Guillaume, who's the CTO. This is his driving license. He's in California, and he's creating his account. He's going to take the photo of the front of his driving license. Then he'll take a photo of the back. Then he will take a photo of his proof of address. Now, once again, the driving license or the ID needs to be in the country in which the account is being created. Okay? The information is verified in real time, very quick. And then the IBAN, as you can see here, is given immediately. And within less than 5 minutes, you've got immediate access to your account. And within 5 days, you'll get one of these, okay? Which is the Monaize Business MasterCard.
I'm going to talk to you a bit about the open platform that we've been building since, this whole adventure started. So we wanted to work around an open platform, around 4 different categories of services. The first one is banking, insurance, payments, and even lendings. We build that in a way that we have Lego blocks that are modules with the connectivity towards our partners. The less dependency we have, the better it is. So this is our partner agnostic platform. With different blocks, we can just literally plug and play on demand. We also had another requirement building this platform, which is scalability. We wanted to have this power of spreading into one country to another without any trouble, at least. So this allows us to launch in France this year, and then quickly to UK and Germany, but we aim by the end of next year to across the ocean and spread Monaize to USA, Australia, South Africa. We're going to have a few words about the milestone. This adventure of Monaize started more than a year ago with a global study in Europe about who's doing what, who's working with who, everything. And we started developing the whole solution earlier this year in 2017, back in January. And then we met you guys, the Komodo team, at the Money 2020 event. And we got along together pretty well. We are sharing the same vision and the same passion. We are all hard workers.
And actually, Monaize is the very first corporation which will be holding a decentralized ICO. That means the orders, the match, the settlement of those orders, all the ICO tokens actually, and every single investment made by a user takes place in a fully decentralized and blockchain-based way. There is not going to be any third party included. You will always be holding your private keys. Nobody else controls your or Monaize tokens.
As many of you will be, I imagine that many of you will be very happy as Komodo supporters. There will be an extremely attractive bonus scheme as part of our token sale for Komodo supporters. So the first 6 hours are reserved exclusively to Komodo supporters. 20% bonus, and then of course we've got a very specific timeline after that, so depending on when you invest you'll get various different bonuses, 15%, 20%, 5%, and then 0 if you invest later on during the ICO. Funds management. So we will be raising a minimum of 1,000 Bitcoin and a maximum of 10,000 Bitcoin. The other thing I'd say is that what we're trying to do is to really sort of incentivize the community to follow us on our journey. So one thing we're putting in place is it's an incentive scheme. So you'll see that 9% of tokens being created will be for members of the MNZ community who help us in any way possible. It can be bug bounties, it can be marketing bounties, it can be, translation bounties, with all kinds of different schemes in place so that people can be incentivized to help the Monaize community. And then the reward program. Now, as we grow, and we've got a very ambitious growth plan, not only in terms of international expansion, but also in terms of users, in terms of numbers, okay? So by 2021, we want to be bringing on 500,000 clients per month. Now, given the figures I said earlier, which is 162 million people just in Europe and in the US working in the freelance space, these are actually quite small figures. They're conservative. We can go much bigger. On the same note, so by 2022, if we look in dollars, we look to be paying to the totality of the Monaize community around $2.5 million per month in rewards. So if you consider the investment, if you consider what percentage of that particular investment you would have, you can start to get an understanding of the kind of returns that you'd be getting in the next 4 years. And I'd urge you to do calculations using this reward calculator over here. A little bit about the team. So obviously Vincent's introduced himself. Guillaume's with me today, but there are other people involved. So first of all, Manon, who is our marketing manager for the French market, very much focused on social media right now, getting the numbers up in terms of our subscriber list, in terms of Twitter, in terms of Facebook and whatnot, to ensure that we go out with a bang on the French market. Then Tracy. Now, a lot of people have been messaging me, since last week. Since we announced the ICO last week, we've had thousands of messages saying, who did the design on your website, on the white paper? So introducing Tracy, our fantastic designer. She's an absolute star, and it's an absolute pleasure to have her on board.
I'll introduce Etienne. He is our Android developer. He is doing an amazing job on Google Technologies, bringing the banking services on mobile to a whole new level. I had so much fun with Florian building this platform. He is a back-end developer, a great architect, and he is also a JavaScript professor in coding schools back in France. And we also got the help of external developers, freelancers, so to say. Thibaut, in the first place, to start the MVP of this partner-agnostic platform that I presented before. And also Roman, he is our Angular expert. He has done the last website we upgraded a few weeks ago.